Apple, one of the biggest companies on the planet, known for perfection, failed multiple times in the dumbest way possible, and you may not know even one of them. Whether you're an Apple fan or a tech geek, you'll be shocked by what's coming. Let's dive in. Number 1. Starting with the $10 billion failure, yes, you heard it correct, Apple worked on a $10 billion car project started in 2014, codenamed as Titan. It aimed for a fully autonomous EV, but faced delays, leadership changes, and scaled back to Level 2+ features, with a potential launch pushed to 2028. In recent years, over 2,000 employees were reassigned to AI, laid off, or moved. After spending a decade and great amount of dollars, in February 2024, Apple decided to get rid of this project, and they canceled the Project Titan. Industries and analysts were shocked. The reasons for the cancellation were technical hurdles, market competition, and a strategic pivot to AI. Codenamed Titan, nicknamed Titanic Disaster. But let's be honest, we don't appreciate Apple for their cars, do we? What makes Apple special is the privacy, right? Well, not always. Number 2. In 2019, and keep in mind it's only a few years back, a major flaw was discovered in Apple's FaceTime app by a 14-year-old Grant Thompson. On January 19, 2019, Grant Thompson found that using group FaceTime, he could hear audio, and if the recipient pressed a volume button, see video, before the call was answered. It posed a major privacy risk, affecting iPhone, iPad, and Mac users on iOS 12.1 or later, potentially exposing millions to literally eavesdropping. And remember, all this is happening not on a shady Chinese smartphone, but on original Apple products, which are specially known for privacy and security. The bug went viral on January 28th, with users alarmed and tech influencers advising to disable FaceTime, sparking debates on Apple's privacy commitment. But since it's Apple, they showed accountability. They took 9 days to act, disabling group FaceTime on January 28 and releasing a fix on February 5, 2019, with iOS 12.1.4, iPadOS 12.1.4, and macOS Mojave 10.14.3, while also issuing a public apology. If you are an Apple user for a long time, you may know or have experienced this, but the next failure was such a blunder that anyone interested in tech would have heard about it. Number 3. Yes, I am talking about iPhone 6, the Bendgate, the phone which, despite being from Apple, looked like a banana. Released in September 2014, the larger iPhone 6 and 6 Plus were prone to bending, with videos showing phones deforming under slight pressure, sparking media frenzy. Initially, Apple claimed bending was extremely rare, but internal tests later revealed the iPhone 6 was 3.3 times more likely to bend than the iPhone 5S, and not so surprisingly, the 6 Plus was 7.2 times more likely to bend. Later, they offered replacements for affected units and strengthened the iPhone 6S design. But still, the issue led to a class action lawsuit, with users frustrated by Apple's initial denial. It became a symbol of design over durability, with memes and discussions dominating tech forums. But guess what? This wasn't their only careless mistake. Number 4. Just 2 years before the Bendgate, in September 2012, in iOS 6, they ditched their default navigation app, Google Maps, and replaced it with Apple Maps. Well, replacing Google Maps was not a bad move. What was bad is errors like incorrect directions, missing landmarks, and distorted geography. It was clear that it rushed to market with incomplete data, which led to public backlash. Seen as one of Apple's biggest failures, with media highlighting errors like the melting Brooklyn Bridge, a cautionary tale for tech launches. But Apple has since improved it with features like Look Around, and now it's a worthy competitor for Google Maps. Number 5. Though Apple Maps, despite being an initial failure, turned out to be a success, that's not the case with their Butterfly keyboard, which haunted users from 2015 to 2019. Aimed for thinness, it used a butterfly mechanism, debuted on the 2015 MacBook, later MacBook Pro and Air, praised for responsiveness but prone to dust issues. Keys often stuck, repeated, or failed, with dust causing major problems, leading to multiple service programs and a $50 million settlement in 2022 for affected users. Apple had to offer free repairs from 2018, phased out by 2019 with the Magic Keyboard, acknowledging the design flaw after years of complaints. I wonder who is coming up with those fancy names. Thankfully, this butterfly failure was just a part of a PC, since once they messed up the whole system. Number 6. 2013 Mac Pro, also known as the trash can, announced at WWDC 2013. The Mac Pro was a sleek, 9.9-inch tall cylinder with dual AMD FirePro GPUs, Intel Xeon processors, and up to 64 gigabytes of RAM, which was priced starting at $2,999. It was marketed as a pro-grade machine for video editors, 3D modelers, and developers. But unfortunately, it was dubbed trash can for its shape and some major drawbacks. The design prioritized form over function, lacking PCIe slots, internal storage expansion, and upgradable GPUs, which is critical for professionals. Its thermal design limited performance, and Apple didn't update the hardware significantly, leaving it outdated by 2016, despite being crazy expensive, while competitors offered modular workstations. As a result, sales were poor, with professionals frustrated by the inability to customize or upgrade, forcing reliance on external solutions like eGPUs. Apple finally admitted the design's flaws in a 2017 roundtable, promising a modular redesign, which was later released in 2019, so it was discontinued in 2019. Number 7. Moving on to the 7th Apple failure of this video, the AirPower. Announced in 2017, AirPower was a wireless charging mat to charge multiple devices simultaneously. It was supposed to charge an iPhone, AirPods, and Apple Watch at once. It promised flexible placement with multiple coils, announced at the iPhone 8/X event. Though it sounds very interesting, it was canceled in March 2019 after overheating and inconsistent charging problems, with Apple admitting it couldn't meet its high standards. The cancellation surprised many, with tech blogs calling it a vaporware failure, and third-party chargers tried to fill the gap, but none matched the original vision. Number 8. Well, if Apple couldn't make one, then what can we expect from others? But there is a thing that many not-so-popular brands pull off easily, while Apple failed at it miserably. I am talking about the Studio Display Webcam of 2022. Launched with a $1,600 monitor with 5K display, the 12-megapixel webcam was grainy and noisy, disappointing for a high-end product, with reviews calling it awful in low light. Apple issued firmware updates in 2022 to improve noise reduction and contrast, but many users still found it lacking, especially compared to iMac webcams. Critics said it wasn't good enough for the price, with some suggesting external webcams highlighting Apple's rare hardware flaw. If you have watched this video all the way till now, then you shouldn't be surprised by the fact that this isn't the only Apple product that wasn't good enough for the price. Number 9. The original HomePod was also considered overpriced, priced at $349, struggled with sales due to its high cost compared to competitors, leading to discontinuation in 2021 in favor of the $99 HomePod Mini. Released in 2018 at $349, it was Apple's premium smart speaker, praised for sound quality but criticized for its price. Later, it was reduced to $299 in 2019, but sales were very poor, with units sold in early 2021 were still from 2018, indicating slow turnover, which led to discontinuation on March 12, 2021. The move surprised many, but analysts thought the real reason was Apple's focus on the Mini, which offered better value, rather than the poor sales. Surprisingly, after the discontinuation, its value on eBay increased, with some units selling for over $638.76 now. Number 10. And with that, we have reached the final blunder of Apple for this video, which is associated with Steve Jobs' famous statement, "You are holding it wrong." Yes, I am talking about iPhone 4, the Antennagate. In 2010, the iPhone 4's antenna design caused signal loss when held like a phone, leading to Antennagate, one of Apple's biggest PR scandals, which was later resolved with free bumper cases. Users reported dropped calls when holding the lower left corner due to the antenna being part of the stainless steel band, affecting signal strength. Media coverage was intense, with Consumer Reports refusing to recommend the phone, and Apple's image took a hit, with 1.7% returns noted by Jobs. Initially, Steve Jobs suggested users were holding it wrong, but later offered free bumper cases and a software update to adjust signal bars, settling a class action lawsuit in 2012. Though Apple failures don't stop here, this video does. Subscribe this channel to view more of my videos, and don't forget, be with me and you'll also feel that tech is too easy. Bye.